In this video, CodingBat.com, section Logic-1, and today's question is love6 in Python. So let's take a look at the question for love6. So the number 6 is truly a great number. Given two int values, a and b, return true if either one is 6, or if their sum or difference is 6. Note, the ABS function computes the absolute value of a number. And as a side note, I have a video dedicated to the ABS built-in function that you can check out. I'll leave a link to it as well. But that's the question. We have two variables, a and b, which are integers, and we have a couple of different conditions where we either want to return true or we're going to return false. So the ultimate output of this function is going to be true or false based on the inputs. Cool, so let's start building out our answer. So let's start with the first condition. And so the first condition is if either one is 6. So we could do something like if a equals 6 or b equals 6, return true, right? So we're going to return true if either one is 6. So if a is 6 or b is 6, that is going to return true. All right, now let's look at our next condition, or if their sum or difference is 6. So the sum would be a plus b. So we could do if a plus b equals 6, return true. And just as an aside, if you want to see a plus b in action, you could just have a equals 6 and b equals 10, and then a plus b equals 16. So that's just what that addition would look like. Now our fourth condition is with the difference and calculating a difference of 6. Now I think for most people this would be the trickiest condition to handle with code. So how can we do this with Python? So the way that you're going to want to handle this difference of 6 condition that we need to meet is using the ABS function in Python. And so what we're going to do is if, and we'll have ABS, and we'll have a minus b equals 6. And if that is the case, again, we are going to return true. And if none of those conditions are met, then we would return false. So here you've seen that we have three different if statements. We're covering three or basically four different conditions where true could be returned. And if none of those conditions are met, then we're going to be returning false. So let's do it. Let's run the code for the first time. And look at that. We're getting all green, all correct. And you can see that there's all these different conditions that were run against the code. And we can see that this is a viable solution. This worked as expected. Now, of course, there are definitely some ways that we could optimize this code, and that's what we're going to do next. But before we get into that, I wanted to give a reminder of why ABS actually works in this case. So what we're going to do is go over to our terminal once again, and we're going to use ABS, and let's just throw some values in and check it out. So we could say 100 minus 90. What's that difference? That difference is 10. The difference between 100 minus 85, the difference is 15. What if you made it negative 100? What's that difference? That difference is 185, right? Negative 100 minus 100, what's that difference? So that difference is 200, right? So ABS is basically calculating that difference, whether or not the numbers are positive or negative or 0, right? And so you can see that even in these values that they've used to test with, we have some negative numbers. So here I believe they did negative 4 and negative 10. So negative 4 minus negative 10, right? That difference is going to be 6, which it is, right? We know the difference between negative 4 and negative 10 is 6. There's 6 values of difference. So negative 7 and 1, we can try that, right? So that difference is 8. So this is the ABS function in practice. Again, I have a video on that, but so that's why this fourth condition works. And we can check if the result or the difference is equal to 0. Sweet, so now that we have our solution, we know that it works. How can we actually make this even more efficient? You might be surprised to know I think we can actually get this down to one line of code. And the reason I think we can do that is we're returning a Boolean. We're either going to return true or we're going to return false. So if I just start copying this code and putting this onto one line of code. And to separate the conditions, we just write or. So we've written or 3 different times on this line, and we're testing 4 different situations to see if those values are equal to 6. And we've done this in the return statement. So we can actually delete all this code. We just have one line, this return statement, and we can click go and see that this has worked as expected. Run it 1 or 2 more times. And here you go, is a one-liner for love6. This is about as efficient of an answer as you're going to get using the ABS function. And yeah, love6, CodingBat. Thanks for watching.